Swords of Legends Online is finally here. Yes, finally. For the first time in what feels like forever, we have a new major MMORPG to sink our teeth into and talk about. Well, this is totally not the only major MMO of the year, with New World, Lost Ark, and Elion also coming out in the next 5 months. Solo could end up being one of, if not the best, especially for fans of PvE gameplay.
Oh yeah, boy. Here, take a look at this, man. You see that? Hippies.
But before we talk about that, don't forget to smack that like button and hit that big red subscribe button down below. It totally helps my channel out a ton. Thank you very much, and let's get this party started. Swords of Legends Online is an MMORPG
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
developed by a Chinese game developer that I'm totally going to butcher the name of, so I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. I apologize, though. But it's published over here in North America and Europe by Gameforge, a German company who's also kind of known for monetization issues with some of their past games. And that's a perfect place to start. Solo is a buy-to-play title. $40 gets you in the door here. After that, there's a cash shop, but it's all cosmetics and mounts. And the mounts don't have any stat buffs at all either. Gameforge has stated many times that they're not going to put any pay-to-win into Solo. And although there is also a battle pass, they've also promised that won't be pay-to-win either. They've even showed that off recently on a live stream as well. Currently, Swords of Legends Online is far from pay-to-win, and Gameforge's transparency in this matter has been a breath of fresh air. But it's not now we're worried about. It's whether a year or two down the road things will start to devolve if the game starts losing players. Obviously, we can't tell the future, but for now, prospective players shouldn't be worried about pay to win. Solo is safe from that. Combat for Swords of Legends Online is hybrid action combat. What do I mean by that? I mean you can play both action and tab targets. Seriously, it is the first time I've ever seen this. All you gotta do is hit control and you swap between the two different modes. It's a little bit weird to get used to, and sometimes you hit the button on accident, but it is a neat idea that I appreciate. For classes, there are 6: Reaper, Spellsword, Berserker, Spearmaster, Bard, and Summoner. Each one of these has 2 different paths they can go. For example, the Bard, Reaper, and Summoner can DPS or heal, and you unlock the ability to use your second spec at level 10. This brings me to the next thing. Yes, there is the Holy Trinity in abundance here. This is also a very story-heavy MMO, in a Final Fantasy XIV-like way. There are tons of cutscenes and dialogue. If you're into that, it's great, but it is skippable. Its world is rich in lore and deep in story, though, so it would be a shame for you to miss out on it. You wanted to visit the deer park. Story does move fast, though, especially at the beginning. It's based on a Chinese TV show, so I think the developers expect you to have seen the show, and it shows. When you start the game, new lore characters pop up over and over again, and you barely get a sense of who does what before another person joins the fray. Like, who's this guy? I don't know, but I guess I'll help him. Who's this girl? I don't know, but she seems important. Why are they fighting over a tree in the air? I don't know. Who are these demons in the snow? I don't know. It's a little overwhelming to say the least. It doesn't always help when the translations are a bit wonky. Save me, I'm very rich. He's badly wounded and won't last much longer. You give him some soul force. He recovers slightly. Here, these are all my savings. Take them. You worked hard for that money. I don't want it. There are also 5 dungeons of multiple difficulties, and later in July, Gameforge has promised the beginning of a series of 5 raids to be added by the end of the year, and those will have tiered difficulties as well. So if you like challenging group content, Swords of Legends Online will have plenty. For those who like killing other players, Solo has many PvP modes, although most of them are gated to different times of the day to funnel players towards specific battlegrounds. There's also an open-world PvP system at level cap that lets you flag and murder others, but the more you do, the more you lose karma and can be sent to a shadow realm on death to atone for your sins. It's an interesting idea, but I wonder if this will hurt the game's open-world PvP in the future because of that. PvP isn't the main focus of the game, though. This game's closer to a Final Fantasy XIV than a Black Desert. The PvP is there, but most of the focus in the content and future updates is towards story and PvE, so if you like PvP, that is one thing to be wary of. There is a GVG map coming in the winter, though, for PvPers, so that will be cool. Gearing is also more Western than Eastern. There's no RNG enhancement system. Heck, there's very little RNG here at all. It's a breath of fresh air, and it's nice to see coming from the East. Though these things are what makes Solo so weird to me. It's a mashup of Eastern and Western ideas done in a very player-friendly way. I enjoy the changes, and it's great to see. Though, one thing to get used to is the UI, which you'd expect from an Eastern MMO. Information is everywhere. It's cluttered as hell and takes a little while to get used to. In the beta, there was also a tutorial pop-up that wouldn't stay away when you closed them as well. It wasn't massive and didn't fully get in the way, but nobody likes when something pops up to tell you random nonsense you already know. There are a lot of great things already here out of the box. Partial controller support, lots of keybind options, collections, achievements, an interesting pet system, and a wardrobe system to rival WoW's transmog system. Seriously, this feels very well polished. As for graphics, obviously, as you can see, this game is stunning. Like, personally, I adore the art style, and the world is gorgeous. Everything is so beautiful, which makes that cluttered UI a little bit more annoying. I want to see all the pretty, not the UI. The game does stutter a little bit. It's not optimized perfectly here, but it's not the worst optimization I've seen in a new game ever either. It passes, though more work would always be nice. Overall, Swords of Legends Online is a bright, colorful, and fun MMORPG that's pleasing to the eye and plays extremely well. It's got plenty of story and PvE focus for people who enjoy that type of gameplay, though it does lack a little bit on the PvP end. It's got a cluttered UI, and the story isn't always even, though neither of those things are enough to damage the fun here too much. The combat is engaging, though the depth of class customization is pretty shallow here too. I tend to stay away from giving a score to reviews. I don't feel that's a proper way to tell a prospective player how much or how long they'll have fun in a game. But I do feel that out of the box, Swords of Legends Online will easily keep your attention for 3 to 6 months, with planned monthly content updates coming in the future. I do recommend this title, and I hope they release a free trial in the future to give those on the fence a chance to try it. But that's all for me for now. My name's Too Many Riffs, and if you enjoyed this, please don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for more MMO news and reviews like this one. It helps my channel out a ton. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have yourself an outstanding day.